to address particular situations in treatment. As in mindfulness practice itself, our emphasis is on flexibility, being in the moment, and responding skillfully to whatever arises. If you don't meditate, this book can help you get started. If you do, it can help you expand and sustain your practice. Building on the foundation of our own personal practice, we outline ways to become a more mindful therapist and cultivate mindfulness in the therapeutic relationship. We then introduce practices to develop the core mindfulness skills of concentration, focused attention, mindfulness per se, open monitoring, loving kindness, compassion, and equanimity, and bring these practices to life with varied clinical illustrations. We also suggest ways to modify them for individual patients and to work with the obstacles that often arise. Because it is easy to feel overwhelmed by the large number of mindfulness practices available, we provide guidelines for how to sequence and combine various practices for optimal benefit. Sometimes, mindfulness practice draws therapists and patients alike beyond the boundaries of traditional psychotherapy into the realm of personal or spiritual transformation. So we offer suggestions for considering these transitions as well. Because our emphasis is on real-world clinical practice, and because our intention is to make this book as accessible as possible, we have minimized references to research and other academic writings. Those who are interested in the scientific underpinnings of mindfulness practice can learn more about them in our companion volume, Mindfulness and Psychotherapy, 2nd edition. Also, following the convention in that book, we have decided to use the word patient instead of client throughout this book. Since patient means one who bears suffering, and doctor means teacher, we as psychotherapists can think of ourselves as doctoring patients, or teaching people who bear suffering. For mindfulness is, above all else, a teaching meant to alleviate suffering. Written for clinicians and by clinicians, this book is designed to empower you to incorporate mindfulness into both your professional practice and your personal life. We hope it will be a helpful companion on the journey. Chapter 1. Bringing Mindfulness into Psychotherapy. The faculty of voluntarily bringing back a wandering attention over and over again is the very root of judgment, character, and will. William James. Mindfulness is a deceptively simple way of relating to experience that has been practiced for over 2,500 years to alleviate human suffering. In recent years, clinicians are discovering that mindfulness holds great promise for both their own personal development and as a way to enhance therapeutic relationships. It is also the central ingredient in an ever-expanding range of empirically supported treatments, and it is proving to be a remarkably powerful technique to augment virtually every form of psychotherapy. Mindfulness is not, however, a one-size-fits-all remedy. Practices need to be tailored to fit the needs of particular individuals and situations. This chapter explores the varied roles that mindfulness can play in psychotherapy and the choices we clinicians face in fitting practices to our own and our patients' changing needs. What exactly is mindfulness? As used by Western psychotherapists, the term mindfulness is often understood to be a translation of the Pali term sati. Pali is the language in which the teachings of the historical Buddha were first recorded. Sati connotes awareness, attention, and remembering. Awareness and attention here are similar to how we use them in English, to be aware and to pay attention. Remembering is different, however. Rather than remembering what we had for breakfast or recalling childhood trauma, it refers to continuously remembering to be aware and pay attention. As we use it in psychotherapy, mindfulness also includes another essential dimension. The Buddhist scholar John Donne points out that a special forces sniper poised on top of a building, aiming a high-powered rifle at an enemy, would be aware and attentive, and each time his mind wandered, he'd remember to return his attention to the task at hand. But this kind of focus is probably not optimal for developing therapeutic presence or working effectively with emotional distress. What's missing for the sniper is acceptance or non-judgment, adding an attitude of warmth, friendliness, and compassion. We might think of this